Ecclesiastes 10:16-18. Woe to you, O land, when your king is a child, and your princes feast in the morning. Blessed are you, O land, when your king is the son of nobles, and your princes feast at the proper time, for strength and not for drunkenness. Because of laziness the building decays, and through idleness of hand the house leaks. Solomon shows us how destructive folly is, and he cautions us to avoid folly and the foolish person. He explains how necessary it is that our rulers, those whom God has elevated to positions of influence and authority, have wisdom with which to rule and to inspire others to seek wisdom, for wisdom is supreme. Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and in all your getting, get understanding. When a nation is given immature leaders, it is the judgment of God. The immature officer is more concerned with the privileges their position affords, and they're indifferent to their responsibilities. Instead of attending to the needs of the people, they use their position purely for personal pleasure, gathering around them other immature officers and ignoring the condition of the house, ultimately leaving it in a state of disrepair. I went by the field of the lazy man, and by the vineyard of the man devoid of understanding, and there it was, all overgrown with thorns. Its surface was covered with nettles, its stone wall broken down. When I saw it, I considered it well. I looked on it and received instruction. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest. So shall your poverty come like a prowler, and your need like an armed man. The condition of the land is dependent upon the character of its leaders. When the ruler is weak and foolish, then it will not go well with the people. Instead of building up a people and the nation, an immature leader spends his time building up his own authority and self-interests, seeking to have a good time at the people's expense. Ruin comes to a nation when those in power are controlled by their appetites and are more concerned with answering the cry of their belly rather than the cry of the people. Repairing this terrible breach of public trust can only happen when wise leaders are elected and see their responsibilities in proper perspective, as privileges that have been entrusted to them and are meant to be used to help others. We are called to pray for those in authority, not complain or be critical about them. Solomon issues a warning to hold our tongues and not to gossip, lest a little birdie share what we say. Do not curse the king even in your thought. Do not curse the rich even in your bedroom, for a bird of the air may carry your voice, and a bird in flight may tell the matter. We may not respect the person in office, but that doesn't mean we don't respect the office. The Word of God tells us, "You shall not speak evil of a ruler of your people." We are commanded not to make light of the king. Therefore, submit yourself to every ordinance of man for the Lord's sake, whether to the king as supreme, or to governors, as to those who are sent by him, for the punishment of evildoers, and for the praise of those who do good. For this is the will of God, that by doing good you may put to silence the ignorance of foolish men. May we pursue wisdom and pray for our leaders, so that we don't ruin our own reputation with folly whenever we open our mouths to speak. The words of a wise man's mouth are gracious, but the lips of a fool shall swallow him up. Oh, that men would give thanks to the Lord for his goodness, and for his wonderful works to the children of men. For he satisfies the longing soul and fills the hungry soul with goodness.